that quickly comes to mind is I think I've been thinking a lot about there's a lot of people that I admire, but when
Mhm,
they talk about they always talk about that moment of like achieving something
mhm,
and then looking around and then feeling so small because there's no one they can share
mhm,
how truly transformative this experience is for them. Like it's kind of like it's a loneliness that comes right after you do something incredible.
mhm,
Trevor Noah spoke about that the first time,
mhm,
and then Jay Shetty spoke about that the first time they packed a room. And
mhm,
you would think that, the after achieving something amazing, you're like, yeah, let me celebrate. But you just feel so lonely because you just
mhm,
had an experience where very few people have had, and very few
mhm,
people will ever have. And all you want to do is just talk about it in a way that just makes you feel like at home. And I think in many ways that's what my friendship with Hector has meant
mhm,
is I don't take it for granted. Like it's okay if that's not always the case, but like, at some point, maybe Hector's going to go for a PhD, and maybe he's gonna do, write a paper that's so transformative, win the Nobel
mhm,
Prize or something. But I think being able to at every single stage of our lives, I always have someone I can look to and be like,
mhm,
hey man, that's crazy, isn't it? And then we have so much history to contextualize it. Because we
mhm,
meet new people all the time at all of these new experiences, but none of them really have the kind of shared history and that Hector and I have. And I think that's kind of what I think it's companionship. I think that's what I
mhm.
would describe it as stage. Yeah.
I love it.
Nah, this is it's hard to follow this. I think this is put this sort of like encapsulates the thing. But I remember I'm gonna say one very thing, that you know, on my very first week, or maybe not first week, very first month ish at MIT, I was struggling a lot. Like and that's sort of like a dark chapter of my life where
Mhm,
I don't really remember but I could not do well academically at MIT. And it was very frustrating because you were coming from sort of like a point where school had never been an issue.
mhm,
And you suddenly now get to MIT and you like, okay, I'm spending 18 hours, I'm studying this thing, and I can't even get a C. And I remember I called Jill in one of these early months, and I was very sad. I was crying, I was depressed,
mhm,
and I was like, I don't even know how I'm gonna make it to MIT. If anything, maybe I don't even belong to this place.
mhm,
And I remember he gave me some really comforting words to sort of like, I can't necessarily pin what are the exact words he told me, but I
mhm,
remember the only thing I remember is like at that point in my life, at that darkest point in my life, he was there to sort of like give me comfort and the support that I
mhm,
needed to, even when I didn't really believe that I could continue, at least give me some gas to like keep going for the next month and see like if
mhm,
things were gonna evolve, right? And that's just one instances of how like many of like when things like this have happened where we've struggled, or like I've struggled with certain things, and I just knew that like this guy would be right there, like one phone call away, like if you needed,
mhm,
any sort of things. And I think this is precious. This is precious, I think, for my journey. I think this is precious for him too in his journey, because at the end of the day, we leave our family and we go on these journeys when we aspire to these things, like Ashley was saying, his family is in Haiti, my family
mhm,
is in Haiti, and we are sort of like on our own for the most part,
mhm,
and we are on the go, like we go
mhm,
until you like bang your head on the wall as you go, but then you suddenly don't know anything to do. And I think having
mhm,
someone that that like you're never alone in that journey, and like this is somebody you can fall back on, I think has been as important as inspiring each other to keep going, because then we're gonna hit the brick and maybe
yeah.
we can no longer keep going, and you need to get the other person like back up on his feet and sort of like support. And I think that's been critical for me. I think just this guy is not just my partner, he's not like we're co-founders, but like we support each other, but like this is my brother, you know what I mean? Like this is my brother from another mother. So it's like beyond all of these things that we achieve, this is a friend that I can deeply count on, and that can deeply count on me. And this is somebody that I would do anything for. And I think this, when it's all said and done, that's the type of thing that's really immortal, I would say, for sure.